What's going on, guys? Welcome back to True Story, the greatest podcast in the world. You know who this is. This is the truth, the dad bod god, the ball, the beard, and the fucking beautiful Piers Austin. And tonight, we got a special one for you guys, man. We got the king, Ryan Phillips, returning, and we're about to get into it right fucking now. Break it down like this. And I was like, really? Like, I thought he broke his neck. The greatest podcast in the world. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Greatest podcast in the world, True Story. And I'm here with one of my favorite people in the entire world. And I know they said about every guest that I have on, but this time I actually mean it. The one, the only Ryan Phillips. What's good?
Yo, what's up, baby? What's going on, Piers Austin crew? How's it going today?
Hey, man, not much, bro. I'm excited to have you back on, bro. Like, we had a ball the last time you were on, man. It was a great conversation and just sort of flew well. And, man, just it's been great seeing your journey going on over at Power Slap, bro, being just the complete menace over there and, dominating there, bro, as well, and being, like, one of the most controversial figures over there as well and really, not afraid to speak your mind and stand on your laurels, man. I really respect it.
Yes, sir. You know it. I gotta stick up for the kingdom. You know, shit's going sour out there, and you gotta be a beacon of light, I guess you can say, in the darkness, because everyone's turning to the left, and it's not right. So quote that.
There you go, man. It's not right. But bro, like we've seen, TKO form, UFC and now WWE are under one banner. We know that Power Slap is, affiliated, to the UFC to some degree, right? Like it's ran by Dana White, same as with the UFC. Has there been any involvement from like Power Slap into TKO as well? Or is it just solely like this is Dana White's thing over here?
Yeah, I would say that it's primarily just Dana White's thing at this point. We don't really have any we don't have any association to TKO, as I think none of the investors are invested in us at this time. However, anything could happen. We do use UFC's staffing and assets. However, that same staff changes, like they change their uniforms and they all transfer over to Power Slap. So are they still UFC's assets? No, they're now Power Slap's assets. But who knows? We're blowing up. I mean, we're trying to get to that $1 billion mark in under a year or a little bit over a year. And who knows what can happen? TKO probably are going to jump on.
Man, and I feel like we're seeing more level of brutality in combat sports. We're seeing like GAMEBRED MMA becoming a thing with bare knuckle MMA, BKFC doing a thing, and like Power Slap. Every time I go on either TikTok or Instagram, like I'm seeing like one or two reels. Like per time I go on Instagram of Power Slap and seeing some brutal knockouts, and it's, as we said, like I think previously, the quick digestible content which Power Slap is really fits the generation and the society that we live in today.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's everywhere you look. I always see something about Power Slap, but then again, obviously it's probably in my algorithm like crazy. So,
yeah,
but yeah, it's easily digestible. It's fast. It's fun. It's only getting bigger and bigger. Hopefully, we'll get in the Olympics. And then
Olympics, really?
Gold medal. I don't. Maybe, who knows? That'd be awesome, though. Yeah.
Could you imagine like the commentators going, "He steps up now. This is for the gold medal."
Yeah.
1, 2.
Knockout!
He flinched like a bitch. Free
America
shot
for the gold. Australia. Yeah.
Man, it'd be interesting to see. I remember seeing someone write on Twitter they wanted to see pro wrestling in the Olympics once. I was like, how does that even work?
Right? Yeah, that'll be tough. I don't think I don't think you can make a match because everyone would be tapping out on one.
Yeah,
the refs.
Exactly. But it's crazy because like didn't amateur wrestling get taken out of the Olympics?
Yeah, I think wrestling's out. I think Taekwondo karate got taken out too, if I'm not mistaken. They took out all the combat stuff.
Oh, really? So I think boxing as well was facing it, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I mean it's going woke, man. Everything's going woke. They don't want any of that cool stuff happening, you know. We're thank God for Dana White. You know, we wouldn't have any real combat sports if it weren't for Dana White and his ballsy moves. I mean, David Feldman with BKFC too. He's the same way. You know, he's taking no shit. But
Yeah.
you know, I think everyone's looking up to Dana, and even Vince McMahon. You know, Vince McMahon stuck up to the bullshit too in a way, but then yeah, yeah, make that face that those
He
that
got
new
into
lawsuit.
he got into some shit, bro.
Yeah. Well, previous to the bullshit, the all the shit that's going on, though, you know what I mean?
The little shit.
You
Yeah.
know, COVID happened, but he still ran. You know what I mean? Same with Dana.
Mm.
COVID happened, he still found a way to run. You know, he didn't let that shit, you know, kill his product. So I think we see a lot of people that are taking influence from those kinds of guys, and you know, I think with BKFC, you know, that wouldn't exist if you didn't have a leader who was like, I ain't taking no shit. I ain't taking no for an answer. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, man. Like, and that's like I've been watching like the Gamebred FC and what like they've been doing, and it's like
Yeah.
this is some savagery fights. Savage, like, you know what I mean? Like Junior Dos Santos still fight, like going in there and like, bro, whew, like that was something
Big
else.
ass dude. Yeah, and he was what is that? Alan Belcher. He fought, smashed him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
bare knuckle MMA is the truth. But that you ever see the King of the Streets out there in Russia?
Yeah, I
That's
have.
like eye gouging, biting people's ears off and nose, and like going crazy. That's some barbaric shit.
Bro, yeah, I've seen that in a buddy of mine showed me that. It was like these guys are fighting inside like fencing and stuff, and they're like on concrete, and he's going, yeah, these guys are like real athletes and stuff. I'm going, no, bro, like no real athlete or combat sports athlete is going to fucking fight on concrete, bro. I said to him, I go, these guys are good fighters, and they'll probably be like, you know, like I said, probably the toughest guys at the barbecue sort of thing. But like if they were to get in there with a real trained fighter that trains and you know, does camps and stuff like that, how would they really go? You know what I mean? Because it's like, I feel like if you're a professional fighter, you're not going to put yourself in situations like that.
Yeah, I mean, King of the Streets themselves have had some pretty well known people come over to across the pond. Like, what's his name? Eric the Blood Axe. He's an accredited MMA fighter. He's got over 30 fights, and he went over there and fought. And he actually fought someone who was he's also a veteran in the MMA game too. So I mean, if you want to check that match out, that's
Yeah.
but how it went was but it kind of went exactly what you're saying. The guy who had the better striking, who was more trained in the striking realm, won because all he did was strike him. You know, he just fucking jabbed him in the face a million times with bare knuckles, made like, you know, blew his face off. That's
Like
it.
I saw one where the guy's just like stomping the other guy's head into the ground.
Oh my gosh, yeah, dude. Wow.
Whoa! And my friend's like, yeah, bro, this reminds me of Pride FC. I'm like, yeah, even Pride FC back in the day when like people, like you see someone like getting close range shots to their head, you're going, yeah, that can't be good for you, right? Like,
Yeah, but then you see it with the concrete mixed involved in there, you know, the head bouncing off the concrete. You're like, that's not good.
hell no.
That's kind of death right there.
Yeah, like that's permanent brain damage type thing, you know. So it's crazy, man. Like people sign up for that shit, bro. Like,
Yeah, Gamebred, they're doing it right though. I think Gamebred's it's towing the line. You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean it's a safe environment. Like, let's be honest, the only difference is like 4-ounce gloves. You know what I mean? And like,
True.
yeah, 4-ounce gloves are like what, like
Just
maybe
like
like
that much
that.
padding.
Yeah, like it's probably like that. I think. Yeah, give it.
Yeah, it's not much.
It's like, but even then, like if any like fans watching this like have never gotten a pair of MMA gloves, go to a sporting goods store and just look at them. They are like hard as fuck, and they're probably like, I think anyway, like with bare knuckle, it makes the striking more crisp
Yeah.
because you're not going to be throwing just random haymakers and stuff like that, because you're going to like be at risk of damaging your hands. So your striking is going to be a lot more precise. It's going to be a lot more strategic, I feel. What do you reckon?
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. I feel that if you do go in and you're a brawler, I'm sure you're going to be figured out quick. It all depends, though, and it all depends on who you're fighting, too. Someone might not pick up on that. There's a lot of guys who aren't trained to be, someone that analyzes their opponent or sees like, hey, I can just use a straight when the guy is coming in, full swing. There's a lot of different skill sets that are involved. So, I love bare knuckle. It's fast paced. It's beautiful violence. It's pure. That's pure stuff. And the Gamebred FC, man, that's pure. That's a fight. That's the purest form of fighting.
Well, Joe Rogan said years ago, I remember hearing on a podcast where he said like he wanted to see bare knuckle MMA because he said that would be the purest form of fighting in the world.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's like it took it was even longer than that. I think it was probably like back in the early 2000s he was saying this sort of shit too.
Yeah. Oh, so, yeah. I mean, it's I mean, if you're going to do fighting, why not just have them fight? Give them a doctor, give them a ref, give them, everything they need, but just have them fight, no time limits. Put an environment, like a cage or something around them and just have them go. And then, that's see who the tougher man is, tap out, I quit, or get knocked out, choked out. That's how we do it.
Remember years ago when Ronda Rousey was running hot and I was like contemplating putting her in a fight with a man. And it was like, I think TJ Dillashaw's name was like thrown around. I don't know. Like, I can't remember. Like I said,
Dillashaw. Whoa.
I'm not saying anyone quote me on that, but it's like, I remember like they were like, who would potentially be able to do that fight, or who would do that fight?
That it wouldn't even make any sense. Dillashaw versus Ronda Rousey. Dillashaw, take my house. You can have everything. I'm putting the house on him.
100%, 100%. And this is prime Dillashaw too.
With roided up. What was he doing again? The ECG or some shit. EPO.
Yeah. No, this was before he was running hot. I think. Like, I think this was when Ronda was running hot and just dominating, and they were like saying, "Well, what's next for Ronda? She's just dominated, the division." And they're going, well, would they have a fighter man? I think Dana was like going, no fucking way in the world.
Yeah. No way. That would be so dumb. Ronda Rousey would get hurt.
Yeah. But could you imagine like all the other stuff that would come out of it? Like the, domestic violence and yeah.
Well,
it would be a PR nightmare.
Well, getting into that, because here we go. That's all that feminist crap, because Clarissa Shields, she even said, she's like, I'll take any dude anywhere, I'm boxing legend, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, we're pushing women's empowerment, which is great, but it's starting to like blur this line between, who's stronger than the other. We don't know. Like, whoa. Men are 100% always stronger than a woman. There's some cases where a woman may be stronger because she's like a lifter, or she works out great and stuff like that. But genetically and scientifically speaking, a man is stronger than a woman. And when women say no, they're not, that's like delusion, man. And there's such a level of delusion now that has set into the world, whether it be just because people are so stuck in their phones or on the internet. It's like, it's got to stop, man. It's got to stop.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, and for the most part, we see that empowerment. I actually did a post on Facebook a while back, and it was sort of just having a sort of jab at those really aggressive feminism, like feminists.
Yeah.
And I was saying, if you're one of those, and I say if you're one of the feminists that act rude, aggressively, and genuinely unpleasant to be around, it doesn't make you a strong woman. It makes you annoying as fuck.
Yeah.
And I had more positive reaction to that than I had negative. on my social media. Like, yeah, I mean, of course you're going to get the negative from it as well. It's like most people like, no, I get where you're coming from here.
Right.
And I feel like that's that level of, of ridiculousness that you're talking about, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You can hate a person for being a person. People say like, oh, like let's say my friend, right? He's acting stupid. And I'm like, my man, you're acting stupid right now, bro. Cut it out, right? And but let's say it's someone that has been taught like you can't say bad things to certain people, but the reality is I'm not saying anything because of their ethnicity or their race or their gender or anything of the sort. I'm saying because they're acting fucking stupid. That's it. Like, but now it's all these different things everyone's offended about, coming into play, and you're just creating more of a divide because there's more things to divide us. Like, stop creating things to divide us. We don't need all this stuff. Let's get back to the basics. Two genders, male and female. That's scientifically proven. That you don't go to the Target, you don't buy, whatever, a princess pony a sized fit. You get a male or a female or a unisex because there's only two genders, right? So it's like what happened? How did we get this far to where now we can literally people are like, oh yeah, go ahead and identify as a pony, at the age of 35. Like, why? This is just crazy to me, man. Like, I don't know.
I think it's a lot of people that just were never told no in their life.
That's what I'm saying. Like, people are too afraid to offend people or something.
No, I just feel like it, and you see it with some people, and I remember this person I used to know, and it was like even his family would like they could easily try and de-escalate certain situations like he'd be having, but it's like I'd sit there and I'd see it, and it's like they're fueling him. And I'm like, they're like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, they're just agreeing with him and just feel. And I'm like, man, you're just pandering to this person. You know what I mean? Like, you got to tell him. And like, I was there. I was like, no, you're being a crazy person. Like, you're legitimately being a fucking crazy person, bro. Like, you need to chill the fuck out.
Yeah. Why would you tell?
But then everyone looked at me like I was a fucking, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's crazy. That's what I mean. Like, someone who can't answer 2 + 2 is 4, and you're gonna look at them and you're gonna tell them they're smart. Like, no, you're like, well, you're gonna need some help with that because that's wrong. And no, you're not smart. You got to, you can be smart. Maybe you have potential, but you're not smart. You can't look at an apple and tell it it's an orange. You know what I mean? It's a lie. You're lying. Why are people so comfortable? I mean, I'm getting to like a man walking around dressed as a woman. They got balls and a weenie, and you're gonna tell that person it's a woman? No, it's a man. That's a man. Like, you can't. I don't know why words aren't defined anymore. They're just let's throw them at the wall and see what catches.
Hey, you know what, man? Honestly, I live by this mentality where, pardon me, if you ain't hurting anybody, you know what I mean? Like, go do you. You know what I mean? Like, best of luck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, go do you. I might not agree with it. I might not understand it, but like, as long as you're not harming children or harming anybody for that matter, and you're just living your life, cool. But when you want to start being like cunty about it and being a Karen and being obnoxious and being like that, yeah, then fuck you. I'm not going to sit there and give you the fucking like anything. But if you're like chill and whatever, and you're like, hey, this is who I want to be, I'd be like, all right, cool, good for you. You know what I mean? God bless.
Yeah, but in a way, it's ruining a lot of things too. It's got a reverberating effect because maybe you don't see it or experience it, but you know that just even having that kind of a discussion where yes, it's a very divisive discussion. That discussion shouldn't lead to just dismissing someone completely out of your life. You should be able to have difference of opinion. You should be able to discuss and maybe learn from each other. Or if you don't see eye to eye, you don't see eye to eye. We're all different. We're not the same. We're not perfect. None of us are perfect. But that should not be a point to where you just dismiss someone, because that's what it gets to. That's what it happens now is people are not afraid of just losing people and ridding themselves of your presence because of a concrete opinion. It's ridiculous nowadays.
Yeah, and look, and I feel like that's the cancel, the society, the cancel culture sort of thing, is like just to cancel someone, just to just disconnect them from life and stuff. And I find it hilarious. I've had people try and cancel me, and it's like, wait, for what? Because I have an opinion on something.
I'm different.
You know what I mean? Because I said that, like, okay, cool. So how can you cancel me? You know what I mean? Like I continue to do my podcast. People continue to watch it and download it and listen to it. So, you know, thanks for being a fan. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's like you can't tolerate someone being different. That's what they say to you, right? Because you have a difference of opinion. You're like, oh well, you're not tolerating the fact that that person's different than you are. But the whole thing is that no, the fact is you're not tolerating difference because look what you're doing right now. Look at yourself in the mirror. Why are we even at this point? We shouldn't be. It's because of you and your delusion, and then all this delusion now, it's like, man, like even like with relationships, you know, that's another thing with it reverberates too, is because now, like, you know, people they could just swipe right, and you know, you're just another a number at this point. You know, the nuclear family is going down the tubes because it's just so easily accessible. People are easily accessible or something. It's like what's going on? Like people need to get off the phones, get off the internet, man. Fuck.
No, I agree, man. And you know, it's
as we sit on the internet.
Exactly, as we broadcast this over the internet airwaves. That's the thing now, where it's like even certain, you know, childhood shows and stuff like that are being censored, and it's like, oh, you can't say, you know, Merry Christmas, it's Happy Holidays, it's like all this other sort of, you know, woke shit that we're sort of going through. And it's because, I don't know, man, people are just finding more and more shit to be offended by. It's just,
that's what I'm saying. But it's like it's all created. Like we're creating it. Like just stop making things so complicated. You know, everything. It's like we're overcomplicating everything, man. Like it's so simple, but I don't know. You know, it just it. Unfortunately had an experience today to where I was canceled by the girl I was seeing for 2 years, off and on. Well, it was nothing very too serious, but it's like it was so easy for her just to dismiss me. It's scary that we don't see each other as, you know, I don't know, humans. I mean, shoot, who knows how people define a human anymore, you know?
I mean, dude, I'm sorry to hear that you and your lady, you know, broke up, man. It's pretty devastating to hear, man, that you get canceled by your girl. Like,
yeah, how do you get canceled by your own girl? I mean, Jesus, it is what it is, man. Like, I mean, I guess it's easy for me too because I wouldn't want to be someone with that level of delusion. You know, I don't. I just it's a scary world out there where the reality is now mixed with something else that's not real.
But see, I love having conversations with people that I have a difference of opinion with.
Me too.
Because I love seeing the opposite side of it, right? So, you know, like, you know, I'm married to a very strong-willed woman, and, you know, a woman who speaks her mind, which I love. I love it to fucking death because you always know what she's thinking. She's never, you know, puts on a face for anything. She, you know, she is who she is, and, you know, and the conversations that we have on a daily basis. You know what I mean? We agree on a lot of things, but there's also the things that we don't agree on. And when we don't, we have healthy conversations, which I then learn something from because, hell, you know what I mean? I'm punching above my weight class.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, that's how it should be, though. Like, you know, we're all not the same. That's all we need to live by. That we're all not the same. We're never going to be the same. You know, and anything, difference of opinion, you know, skill set, life that we live, anything. There's so many variables to life itself that none of us are ever going to be the same. So why are we all trying to be the same?
Well, I think as well for a lot of people and a lot of these, you know, sort of more new generation. I don't know what are they? Gen Y, Gen Millennials, or whatever they are.
Yeah, I don't know, Gen Zers or something, right?
Gen Z is whatever the fuck. Yeah, I just feel like for a majority of these people, they haven't been punched in the face enough. But for the most part, is like they're gonna have a rude awakening, and I think is like as they have more experiences around like real life people, they're going to like realize how stupid that they are. Because like if you go back and look at the like ideals that you had in like the early 2000s or the 90s and stuff like that, you're gonna go, wow, what a fuckwit I was. You know what I mean? Like
it's very true. It's very true.
you know,
Definitely
like
matured more.
yeah, I think it just comes from a maturing mindset and stuff like that. But it's when you see people that have this attitude of, you know, I know better than you, or and this is the same thing. These Gen Zers or whatever that the fuck they want to be called. It's they have this mentality is like what they think and that their way of life is right. And who the fuck are you? Oh, you've got 20 years on me? That's nothing. That means fuck all. Like fuck you.
Right.
Like no, what I'm telling you is right. You know what I mean? Like they have this this obnoxious, arrogant fucking mindset where it's okay, but shut the fuck up. Listen to people that are older than you, learn. You know what I mean? You may fucking like avoid fucking bad situations happening in your life if you shut the fuck up and listen to someone who is trying to drop knowledge on you from time to time.
And it's like, where are you getting your information from too? You know, a lot of the people that they're listening to are just the same as them. They're not accredited. They didn't, you know, really do their own research. They only look at the headlines. They don't read the meat and potatoes of the articles. You know, where are you getting your information from? And like for you, for someone like our age to sit there and be like, listen, you know, you can't always, you know, read or believe what you read, or you know, you can't always believe what you're hearing. You got to do your research. And for them to push us away like that, it's like it's just ignorance, but it's also laziness, and that's another thing that's plaguing us is just laziness. As technology gets better, we become more lazier, and that's what's happening.
Dude, I remember like as a kid growing up, right? So I'm 42 this year. So for me, yeah, right. So for me growing up, like we had no mobile phones. We had none of that shit, bro. I didn't get my first mobile till I was probably 17, maybe 18. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah. I was
you know,
going to say like 17, 18 for me.
yeah, bro. And then like even it was a few years after that before we had like Google and like porn and all the other cool stuff that we can get on our phones now. You know what I mean? Like that's the craziness of it, bro. Like there's the technology has developed so quickly now. Like even a streaming service, like when you used to sit down and watch a TV show, you used to look forward to it all week. If it was on a Saturday, you'd be like stinging for that show. Or if it was like on a Monday, whatever, it's like that's what you wait all week to get to that match. And then it's like now it's you have the world that you think, like even the UFC with their app and WWE's like thing on Peacock and all that sort of stuff.
It's gonna be on Netflix. That's crazy.
100%. But now it's just like so easily digestible, bro. Like we had, like at my house, we have so many different streaming platforms. Me and my wife just tonight, we sat down to have dinner like in our lounge room once we put the kids to bed. And it's like, what do you want to watch? I don't know. Okay, let's have a look on Netflix. Okay. All right, let's have a look on Binge. Let's have a look on Disney Plus. And I'm like, just fucking pick, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's
that Roadhouse, bro. Roadhouse.
Oh, dude, but there's just so much. There's so much content out there that you spend more time searching for something and looking for something. You know, so that's why I just watch The Sopranos on repeat, bro. That's
the best ever for real. Breaking Bad, second best. Maybe
never watched it.
Really? Whoa!
Never got.
Bro,
Never,
if you love
never,
Sopranos, get your ass on Breaking Bad, bro.
Yeah. I've been told to check out that and Better Call Saul. I think is like a prequel to it.
Better Call Saul. Don't even worry with that shit. Breaking Bad, bro. Top of the line. I was gonna say like top 3, top 5. No. I just say top of the line. That's one of the best. I was blown away.
Dude, yeah. I actually got into Godfather of Harlem. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was really good acting.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, dude, that's cool as shit, man. Definitely got to check that out, bro.
All right, I'll check that one out for sure. I've kind of staying away from all that stuff because it all turned woke. Like all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it started turning woke. A lot of strong female leads, which I don't care, but I started noticing more and more and more as I like started, trying to take in more entertainment. It was kind of like more of a narrative. It wasn't like it was so weird because you started playing like video games and stuff, and then you just started seeing more and more female leads. And I'm like, I don't really want to play as a female. I'm a man, I kind of want to play as a male character, right? And because that kind of takes me out of the submersiveness of it, or immersiveness, sorry, of the game for me. And I'm like, but I'm finding more and more of these games are female leads, and I'm like, I don't really want to play it because I'm not a female. So and in movies too, you start having all these female leads and stuff like that, and like it's like I'm not connecting with that, so I don't really want to watch that stuff. So it's been a while since I've watched movies, but I like that Roadhouse. That Roadhouse was a good.
I haven't seen it.
The Roadhouse was a good throwback to like the Van Damme guy like movies. You know what I mean? Like
the early 90s.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like walking into like a smoky bar and stuff, and just
it made me feel good. You know what I mean? I was like, this is dumb because it was dumb, but you're like, you gotta get yourself out of all this shit right now where everyone's looking for perfection and just have fun. People have forgotten to have just fun. And Roadhouse, I feel like if you just like let everything go and just have fun, it's a great movie just because of that. It's so stupid, the acting's terrible, but you don't think about that, you just have fun with it. You're like, yeah, this is a good movie.
But that's the thing, man. Like if you look back at most of those movies, right? Like the Van Damme ones, and even this, like there was a few Sylvester Stallone ones, man, that were real stinkers, bro. Like
Over the Top sucked, but it's so good. It's so bad, it's good. You know what I mean? Like,
you remember American Ninja?
Oh hell yeah! There's like 10 of them.
yeah. I remember seeing like I had like American Ninja recorded on VHS tape. I think it was like the first one and the second one, and so it was like it was so bad, it was so good.
So good. And I tried going back to it, man, and it's unwatchable. But it was.
Did you know one movie that popped at me, like just absolutely had me over so much when I was a kid, was Spaceballs. Like I fucking love that movie. And about a year ago, bro, I tried to sit down and I saw it on Hulu, and I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm gonna watch that. And it was like, dude, I blazed up, and then I went in there. I'm like, this is gonna be fucking awesome. And I watched it, and I'm like 5 minutes in, and I'm going, this is fucking so stupid.
I know.
Like I'm going, this is so fucking dumb. I can't even fucking play on my phone and just have it in the background. It's just fucking. I turned it off. I was like, this is. I was like, I couldn't deal with it. And my wife's like, why'd you turn that off? I was like, it's just. She's like, you were raving about this movie for like days, and then it was like you just turned it on, and 5 minutes later you're like, nah. And I'm like, just didn't hit.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, American Ninja. We know and love that movie. I grew up, I was like, man, this dude is cool as hell. I want to be kicking ass like this guy. Like maybe like 4 or 5, I guess. But then you go back to it, and you're like, ooh, this is not good as I remember, man. It's not as good, but. Man, I saw a movie and I was like, man, it's still as good as I remember. Fight Club, like Fight Club's old, and you're like, but damn, it's still as good as I remember, bro. Like, or Boondock Saints, like that movie's old too. But
bro, I sat down on it, like my wife's family. We all went away over Christmas time, and and one night we're sitting there, and I was there with my two nephews, or 2 of my nephews, and they're like 14, probably 14, and 12, and we're sitting there and we put The Godfather on.
Ooh.
And as soon as we put it there, the younger one just starts answering questions. So is he a bad guy or is he the good guy? So he isn't the Godfather? Oh no, so now he is the Godfather. So what was that? And it was just like every fucking scene, it was just like question after question. He's like, "Is the mafia real?" I'm like, "I don't know, man. Like, ask Tony Soprano when you see him." He's like, "Who's that?" Like, what? And I'm just, oh my god.
Well, the
And
mafia is really real, so I know that for a fact.
um, but you know what I mean? Like, it was just so interesting that these kids were watching a classic film. Like, even my father-in-law was sitting there watching it as well, and my wife was there, and my brother-in-law was there, and we're sitting there watching it, and like even my brother-in-law was just going, "Can you guys just shut up and just like this is a masterpiece."
Yeah, you got to watch it. You got to just sit there and watch it, right? But everything that's coming out now that people are consuming are all like comic books. You know, people already know what they're getting into, like the Marvel movies. You know, like those things are so big and they're so overused now. It's like everyone knows what they're getting into, but you know, God, we've lost our creativity. When's the last time you saw a movie that wasn't about something else? You know what I mean? Think
Well,
about
dude, last movie I saw was the Iron Claw. Did you see that?
Iron Claw. Is that the Asian Marvel movie?
No, it was the Von Erich movie.
Oh, dude, the Von Erichs. Oh no, I didn't see that yet. Good,
Dude.
hey, good call. I need to see that.
But you know what? Everyone raved about that movie, and I saw all all the positive reviews. I went and saw it, and I went to a premiere of it, and I was just like, "Man, this movie sucks!" Like the whole way through, I was like, "This is terrible."
Really?
Yeah, I was like, "This is not a good like." It just because you know, I mean, the story of the Von Erichs was just like it was just very slow, and it was just like, okay, this happens, this happens, this happens, this happens, and it was just yeah, it was just
Well,
really
it's like this, bro. The Von Erich story is tragic as shit. Like,
oh, dude, 100%. But it's like I don't know, they didn't really hone in on the um, I don't know, like I don't know. To me,
the ripple effect that it had, or something.
yeah, like
It
I
was just
feel
like they
like
died off, and that was it. Like, you know.
yeah, like I just feel like they died off the brothers very, very quickly. Like it was almost like, okay, this happened, and then it's
Mm.
like fast forward, then this happened, and there wasn't much
But it didn't
like
show like the drinking and like how like what's his name?
yeah, like there wasn't like a great deal of I don't know. I feel like it lacked story.
If you know the story of the Von Erichs, it's probably not a good movie. That's probably what you're saying. I
No,
feel like.
no, I just feel like it would have been better portrayed in a miniseries than a film. I
Okay,
feel
well,
like if they had like a six 1.5 hour episodes where they could tell the story, I feel like they could have told it a lot better in that format. But I get it, like movie is probably more money than miniseries, right? So
yeah, and especially with the actors they had and all the money they spent, they probably wanted to get that out to the theater, make their money back. You know what I mean?
oh dude, I think they'll definitely make money off that movie. I think like they were saying that Zac Efron was gonna be nominated for an Oscar for that one.
Nice, good for him.
Dude, I thought the people that played the parents in that movie, they were like, I thought they were just amazing. I thought they were the stars of the movie.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
man, I want to see that. I'm just not in. Like I said, I'm just not into watching, sitting there watching other people do stuff. You know, that's another thing. Like we're all trained and you know we're made to like sit on the couch and watch stuff and be entertained through that. But it's like, man, I'd rather go lift some weights or you know work on my podcast or work on a website or work on a video or you know do something productive. It's like you got to kind of like how we were saying, like how is the world turning this way? It's like, man, you kind of sometimes have to just break away from social norms and just get yourself, you know, put the phone. Sometimes I even put my phone in the bedroom and I just leave it in the bedroom, and I'll take hour and a half, 2 hours to just do other things rather than have that phone on me, man. And it's liberating. Feels great.
Mm. Man, I love it as well, man. Like I'm on my phone consistently, obviously with the podcast and living my
Same.
life on social media and stuff like that. So it's it's always been constant. So the times I actually get to like tune off, like I actually try and like not be on my phone for about half an hour to 40 minutes before I go to bed. Like just have it down, sit there, watch some TV or talk to my wife or whatever, but something else besides being on technology or a screen. Because it's, dude, I see it with my kids. It's like if we want them to be quiet, okay, yeah, just give them an iPad. But if they have like a little bit too much time on that thing and you say, okay, it's time to like, that's enough, the hyenas come out, bro. My sweet children turn into fucking monsters, bro. It fucking cooks their brains, bro. Like there is no way back in the day I would say to my parents what like my kids would say. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
no
Oof.
way in the world, bro.
Can
No
only
way.
imagine, brother. I don't have kids myself, so I don't know what it's like, but I've seen it secondhand also, and I can't believe that it's it's the internet. They're consuming the wrong stuff, and it's turning into this divisive environment. Everyone's so divided with each other. Families can't be families because one little thing goes wrong and it's doomsday to these people. It's crazy. It's crazy how our minds have been adjusted, man. It's definitely not like what we used to be. And that's what I'm saying. Disconnect, liberate yourself. I'm going fucking camping. I don't care what if it's -0 or not. I'm going fucking camping, going in the woods for a while and just hanging out there, getting away from all the noise, man, and just it's so overbearing, man. It's tiring.
But that's the thing, the internet and social media and all that sort of stuff, it's built for negativity. It's built to draw you in. It's built to keep you occupied and to be showing, you know what I mean, to keep your mind there.
Yeah.
And to keep you distracted.
It's like, but you don't know what you're doing to yourself. It's like you're rewiring yourself in ways that you'll never truly understand. It's because it's just such a slow burn. It's like, man, that's why I try to tell everyone, just put the fucking phone down, go do something else. Go lift some weights, go run a mile, go play basketball. Like you never see people on the courts really anymore, or you don't see people outside,
I've actually started doing something different where it's like if I find myself on the phone for more than an hour, like I challenge myself, all right, go for a walk around my house. Like even if it's 2 o'clock in the morning and I was like, just go for a walk around the house or do 10 push-ups.
There you
know
go.
what I mean? Like just do something just to break that cycle.
Yeah,
And
there you go.
like, you know what I mean? Like, or just even, directing that is like whenever you have sort of like any sort of negative energy or you feel aggressive, like, okay, no worries, just take a breather. You know what I mean? Like just walk out of the situation. And that's kind of what I told my son because, like he's getting to that stage, my eldest, he's like, he's sort of said a few like nasty things and aggressive. And I said, man, like when you get angry, like you can't talk like that. There's consequences to that.
Absolutely.
So when you get angry, you need to just take a minute, walk away from the situation, breathe and relax. And it's like this morning, it was like he got angry because my wife said he couldn't do something or whatever. And I was like, where is he? And it was like, he was outside, like looking at our swimming pool. And he's just like standing there. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, breathing. I'm like, cool, man. I'm like, but it's like, it's good that he can sort of develop that and go, you know what, I'll try and put this into place to practice and stuff like that. And it's, and that's the thing. It's like distracting from that where I even say, if you misbehave, you will not have access to this. You will not have access to iPads. You will not have access. And so to them, that's their like golden time. If I was to turn the Wi-Fi off while they're on the iPads and stuff, they'd be like, what? You know what I mean? Like their whole world would be crumbling down.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm trying to say to them, okay, you can have it. But then I'll say, all right, in 5 minutes time, that's enough.
Yeah,
so I mean, like they get that warning. So by the time I say no, it's off. My kids will go, yep, sweet. But it's taken a long time to figure out that way. You know what I
mean? Well, that's a good, strong father figure for you. That's another thing that's missing in a lot of these kids' lives is a good father. And that's as you can see from what you just said. Just giving them that sort of instruction. Just change the world for them. They're acting differently, which is in a good way. That's what you got to do.
Oh, yeah, man. And that's kind of where I feel like, we talk about that strong male father figure in life and stuff like that. Well, that's kind of where we go back, which has been the main premise of this, is that, a lot of men have been allowed themselves to just be, completely, betaized to a certain extent. And I'm not some Andrew Tate fucking quoting person or any of that sort of shit, but I do see certain things, and it's like, I'm in a very healthy relationship with my wife where like she respects me, that I'm the man of the family, and I respect her as well. But it's like we're equals. You know what I mean? Like I don't. Yeah. You know what I mean? I would never dare tell her what to do, and she doesn't tell me what to do at all. You know what I mean? Like she. You know what I mean? We have a very
coexist. Yeah,
exactly. When we love each other, and it's everything like that. But there's no alpha, there's no boss or any of that sort of shit. But there's also that respect. And that's where I feel like it is missing in a lot of, like, I see a lot of things, how this generation really are. It's like, man, fuck, you just, as I said before, you just need to get smacked in the mouth, bro.
Seriously.
You just need a fucking smack in the fucking mouth. One.
A reality check. Like, people need reality checks. That's what it is. And I think we've gotten so far gone from reality, and we're creating this illusion, like this whole, like, hey, be nice to people type movement. I'll be nice to you, sure, but if you disrespect me, I'm not going to be nice to you. That should be taught. It should be respected. But when disrespected, don't be afraid to be truthful and honest, because that's, you don't get slapped in the face. Look at the guy and say, thank you. Can I have another? That's, I feel like a lot of people are on that right now, is where they just allow themselves to be walked all over, allow themselves to be talked to like a piece of trash, or go online and start talking to someone like a piece of trash themselves, and there's no repercussion. Like you said, sometimes people need to get slapped in the mouth. I agree.
But dude, like I've found myself in that situation, bro, and like where I've heard people talking shit in my industry and gone up and go, what's the problem? Oh, what? Like, I mean, like they're shocked because it's like they can go, I mean, they can go on these things and go on like the little Twitter fingers and all that bullshit. But then as soon as they're like confronted with it, they don't like face-to-face confrontation. They want to have freedom of speech, but then they don't want to deal with the consequence of it.
I like the people that go and they say, stop bullying, resist bullying, this and that, and make sure you tell you. But they're the bullies themselves.
They're the biggest.
You catch them all the time doing bullyish things, and they're advocating for stop bullying. Why don't we advocate for respect, truth, and freedom? Like, advocate for that. Why not?
I 100% agree. And, when you look at it, it's, if we could take that approach in life, everything would just be so easy to coexist. Like it just everyone be cool, be chill, be respectful, and be like, all right, man, cool. What the fuck ever. But yeah, just this uptight Karenness, I call it. He's the fucking stuff.
The fucking Karens. Gotta love them.
The Karens and Kevins.
Kevins? That's a good one. I usually call them Stans or Timmies.
Stans or Timmies? Like Timmy's from like South Park, like Timmy.
No, well, sure, why not? It could go a lot, but I like calling someone. I think being like Timmy. Like you never talk to a Timmy anymore. It's always a TJ. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or a Tim.
Or a Tim, right? But not Timmy.
Timmy. Jesus. I just think now of Timmy from South Park, like Timmy. There is, like, if South Park was to come out today, how long do you reckon it would last before they pulled it from the airwaves?
I mean, it is out today. That's the funny thing. Like, how is it? How is it still around?
Because I feel like everyone knows what it is now. Like, they just have to keep up, like, overdoing it. Like, do you remember years ago when they did the Taliban episode where it was like people and like people were like going in out? Like, I think they canceled that episode.
And they did. But remember Team America, World Police, all that? Oh my God. Yeah. Think about that coming out. Woof. World was shut down.
Oh, bro. But that's the thing. You can't have that level of entertainment being released right now.
No, not at all. You can't offend anyone. You can't joke around. That's what it is. It's not a joke anymore to anyone. Everyone's so uptight and serious. Like you said, everyone's wound up. You can't have Jim Carrey coming out in a leotard, acting like a fitness woman, like in Living Color. Remember that? Remember those
Yeah,
days?
yeah,
Holy shit! Jim Carrey would if they went back. And I mean, I don't know how is that guy not canceled? I mean, Jesus Christ!
dude.
Like they're always going back and canceling people from years ago. How is Jim Carrey canceled from all that shit? I mean, he was pretty offensive. Money,
Power,
money and
power,
influence,
100% money,
and
influence,
they can
power.
change him. They can mold him. He succumbed to the cabal.
But I've seen some crazy shit going on. Like I saw that allegedly, who was it? Puff Daddy was like threatened Jamie Foxx because Jamie Foxx wanted out of the Diddy Club or some shit like that. And it was like he got really, really sick or something like that. And it was like some bizarre thing, but like the Hollywood Illuminati type shit, bro, was wild.
I mean, everyone says like what you're talking about is conspiracy, but you cannot look away from what's going on in the world. Like it's right in front of you. This shit is awful. Like I mean, ugh, like we're all being led to this doom. I don't know what it is, but it's really bad. And especially with America, we got all these terrorists coming over the border that we have no idea where they are. They're being flown to every state. Even the administration, the Biden administration, confessed that they took 350,000 people on a private jet to New York City to drop them all off straight from Guatemala. So
Whoa.
it's like, what the hell is going on here? Like, what are they setting us up for? They say they're setting us up for just because they don't want Trump in office and they want the votes. But then again, these people are our top 10 FBI most wanted lists. Like,
Jesus.
it's just
So it's
crazy.
just like, welcome to New York, run amok.
New York is bad, man. Like, even I have friends who live in New York and they're like, we can't do this anymore. Like, they're trying to get out. They moved to Florida, some of them, yeah.
I got a buddy of mine over there at the moment in New York, and the producer of this podcast actually is over in New York at the moment. And he was just saying how like crazy the hustle and bustle is there, and he's like in New York City, and he's saying it's just absolutely ridiculous.
So yeah, it's just, and even where I live, where I'm from, you see the shift, and it's it's scary in a sense. It's so crazy because you used to have a lot of like musical acts come to Cleveland. Now there's really none. A lot of them skip over Cleveland. You look at the schedules, you're like, oh hell yeah, my favorite band's touring. No Cleveland date. And you're like, what the hell? And no one wants to come here because the police, the administration that runs the city has lax laws, so people can go and just rob you, and they'll be out on the street the next day and they'll rob you again. And no one wants to be a part of that. And there's more homeless people now because they lax those laws too, that they can just sit there and do whatever the fuck they want, shit on the sidewalk, do drugs, whatever they want. They won't put them in jail. They'll just, slap them on the wrist. No one wants to come here. So.
Well, the thing is, if they put them in jail, then they're an expense.
Well, yeah, or put it. Well, I mean, put them in the high. They have like these safe living homes that they create.
Yeah.
Why aren't they in those?
It's wild in this day and age that people can be homeless. And I mean, like, I suppose it depends on people's situations and stuff like that. And I'm sure there's going to be someone coming at me for that. But I feel like in the generation that we're in now, there should be nobody living on the street or living in a car or anywhere in the world.
Yeah. And then, but it comes down now to, is that personal choice or not?
100%. If you want to live that nomadic lifestyle, then sure, go for it. But if it's down to like, also, you never know, like people on, drugs and stuff like that can sort of find themselves in spots. But
it's unfortunate. It's terrible.
Dude, it definitely is. But like, I think you see it now, like, especially after the code, like once we had sort of, the COVID stuff going on and the lockdowns and stuff like that, you're starting to see now where like especially here in Australia, we're getting like certain big shows and concerts and whatever happening in certain areas of Australia. Like we had WWE come here and they went to Perth, and people are going, why would they go to Perth? And it's like, well, because this was probably subsidized by the Western Australian Perth, you know what I mean? Like the government to basically bring it there to attract more people to Perth.
Right.
Like it's that sort of simple. Where it's like if they had it in Sydney, okay, cool, but it's like it's fucking Sydney. You know what I mean? Like take it to there, it's a different thing. It builds more, jobs, whatever it may be. And it's the same thing with other sort of international brands, like if UFC to come down and that sort of thing. It's like holding it in places which might not be the major tourist destination of that place, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course, it brings money to those destinations, which is a great thing for those destinations. So, yeah, I see only a positive for that, right?
Dude, 100%, man.
Yeah,
But that's the thing, even like in Thailand, man. Like Thailand, after the COVID vaccine legalized weed, and it's like before that, that was like if you fucking have a joint over there, you're going to be like facing a firing squad, bro. But now it's like every second store is like you can go get pre-rolls or
oh, really?
Yeah, bro. Like apparently it's pretty wild over there, man. But that was a thing, huge tourist destination before COVID. It needed to do something like that to survive.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy because I lived in the Philippines, and you're right, it's punishable by death if you were found with any sort of drugs, and then weed was one of them.
Yeah, bro. Well,
That's
Thailand,
just crazy, bro.
well, dude, like I heard that the Thailand law was that even people that were at the time when it was legalized, if they were locked up because of weed, that they were automatically released and
Nice.
they were given back the amount of weed that was caught on them. So if you were caught with like one like joint, right, or one blunt, you were given one joint or one blunt. If you were caught with like 20 pounds, they would give you 20 pounds.
Whoa.
And it's, you know what I mean? Like just ridiculous shit. Like, could you just imagine like sitting there, you've just done like 35 years and then they're just like, yeah, we've decided to legalize. You'd be like, what, motherfucker? Like,
That's I don't know, man. But it's like how is weed any harmful, like to anyone as alcohol? Alcohol is terrible for you. And I think it's crazy how they won't do any research on marijuana, but they said that they did research on alcohol, and alcohol's safe. But then again, you look at statistics, and just anything, you see alcohol is far worse than marijuana.
oh, 100%.
Yeah, it's like what who made the decision to go that route as opposed to this route? And it's like what the fuck are we doing, man? Like we got to get to the point where we can make our own decisions. We can be people. We're free to choose. We should be able to fucking be able to choose what we do like that.
Yeah, man, I completely agree, bro. And I think we're kind of getting to that stage, though. Like in most, countries, like Australia's not really there as far as it having it like like for recreational use, like it's available for medical use, which I suppose is a step in that right direction. But I think we're probably a few years off. But I feel like Australia's very ass backwards. But we just have to wait and see, man. I think Australia tries to copy America to a certain extent with a lot of stuff, but.
Well, they're probably all connected in some ways too, man. I mean, the World Economic Forum, this whole conglomerate of individuals in the United Nations, there's some weird shit going on, especially with all of our governments, man. And who knows what we're in for. It's scary. That's for sure.
That's why I hate politics, bro. Like every time I have to go and vote, I don't actually like you've got to go and tick boxes and shit. Like I literally just go get my name ticked off and take it and don't even tick anything because it's like I don't. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, I mean, like, I'm picking between one scumbag and another scumbag. Like, when it all comes down to it, like,
true.
Yeah, I mean, which devil's the better one to go for? I guess whatever.
Right. I mean, if you got to really look into. I think that's a big problem. Is a lot of people are voting with emotion as opposed to actual knowledge. And it would be a good thing to take take the family, take an hour, research the person who's gonna be in power, and take a look at accomplishments or things of that sort, and compare them to the opponent. It's like we got to be educated when we make these big decisions, because right now, as you can see, our decisions are something's going on. You know, something bad's going on with the majority right now. So the majority's not doing it.
Yeah, man, for real, bro. But man, we've been going for just about an hour now, man. I can't believe the time is absolutely flying through here, bro. But man, what have you got coming up, bro? Where can everyone find you and support you and see what you're doing next?
So the King has a big old fight April 12th, live and free on Rumble, baby. I'm gonna be fighting on the main event, the Bell, Damien the Bell Dibble. I call him the wind chime because he hits like the summer breeze. Um, yeah, I'm fighting him for the title, the world heavyweight title. So definitely check it out. April 12th, I'm gonna become a champion of the world, and the King's gonna rule the kingdom. So come check me out if you want to see more news on that. Go to _King_Ryan Phillips on Instagram. That's basically the place for me. And yeah, check out Barefisted Podcast, which is our podcast. Kind of taking a little bit of a hiatus, but hopefully we recharge it back. And shout out to you, Piers. Thanks for having me on today. Sorry your guest didn't show up, but hey, glad to take his place.
Hey, man, I really appreciate you popping in, man. It's great to have a conversation with you as always, bro. And man, look forward to catching up again. Take care, brother. All the best. Take care, guys. Greatest podcast in the world. True story. Till next time, take care. All the best. Mwah. Peace out, bitch ass motherfuckers.